in from our Singapore's cybersecurity community as we explore opportunities in one of Southeast Asia's fastest growing digital markets, Indonesia. Now, gentle request,
10:30. I got
everyone.
another call at 3 o'clock. And I
Gentle
have to
request,
rush, man.
everyone.
Find this morning
Let's
someone asking me
keep
for third code,
ourselves
so
muted.
I have to work on it. No choice.
And
Yeah. I mean, you're not gonna bring computer go and work, man.
yes, let's keep ourselves muted. And everyone, please do turn your videos on. We'd like to start off with a group photo first and then go on into some housekeeping rules. So can I have everyone quickly turn on your videos while keeping your audios muted? And we'll
Raj,
take a
you
group
stop
photo.
the screen share first so that we can take the group photo. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, everyone. Can we just have your videos on?
Nama Firlie dia pembicara, gue perlu dokumentasiin. Gue perlu dokumentasiin, Pak Firlie pembicara soal. Firlie.
Okay.
Hello.
Is everyone ready? Yeah. Let's switch on the videos. Okay. I'll take a photo first. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Big smile. Okay. Next page. I'll do this quickly. Okay. Let's keep your smiles there, everyone. 1, 2. Okay. And last one. Wonderful turnout. Wonderful. Okay. Allow me to resume sharing my slides and I'll begin our session proper. Welcome to everyone once again. So before we begin, as a gentle reminder, please do keep your devices to the silent mode. Please do mute your side, mute your audio while keeping your video on throughout. The video being on, just serves as an encouragement for our speakers as they share. Please also feel free to share any questions that you have in the chat, or you may click on the raise hand icon if you have any questions, and we'll actually address them during the Q&A session together later. And without further ado, it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Willis Lim, Executive Director of the CyberSG TIG Collaboration Center, to deliver the opening remarks. Willis, the floor is yours.
Hi, thanks, Raj. So good morning, everyone. On behalf of the CyberSG TIG Collaboration Center and SGTech, right, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to today's Winning in Indonesia Cyber Market Briefing and Go-to-Market Workshop. So first of all, I'd like to say how delighted we are by the very strong response to this session. You can see by Raj just now having to scroll like 3 pages long, right, in order to capture all the attendees today. So we have many companies joining us today, which speaks volumes, I think, about the strong interest among Singapore companies into expanding into Indonesia. I also want to extend our sincere appreciation to our distinguished speakers from Indonesia for taking the time to join us. So we are very honored to have Dr. Edwin Hidayat Abdullah, Director General of Digital Ecosystems at KOMDIGI, Mr. Firlie Ganinduto, Chairman of ADIGSI, and our good friend, Mr. Girindro, founder and CEO of CyberArmyID Indonesia, a good friend of Cyber TIG Center, and NUS Enterprises Program Manager at Block 71 Indonesia, Andit. So thank you all for partnering with us and for sharing your valuable insights and experiences. So Singapore and Indonesia have long enjoyed close economic ties, and nowhere is this more evident than in our digital economy. Now, as Indonesia and Singapore continue our digital transformations, cyber has become an increasingly important priority. Now, for Singapore companies, right, this represents exciting opportunities, but the Indonesian market is also one that requires local understanding and, of course, trust. Successful market entry is not just about having good technology, right? It's we all know that. It's about understanding our customers' needs, navigating local ecosystem complexities, identifying the right partners, and appreciating the very unique business culture. So we all hope that today's briefing helps all of us take that first step with greater confidence. More broadly, cybersecurity is a shared challenge. As our digital economies become increasingly interconnected, so too, I think, must the depth of our partnership. Today's session is another small but meaningful step in strengthening collaboration between Singapore and Indonesian cybersecurity ecosystems. Now, as most of you know, this briefing is intended to be a lead-up to our upcoming Jakarta Business Mission in late August. We hope today's discussions will give everybody a clearer understanding of the opportunities ahead and encourage many of us to come on board this trip to Jakarta, where we will all have the opportunity to engage directly with potential customers, partners, as well as key ecosystem stakeholders. Finally, I'd like to thank our colleagues at SGTech and AIBP for co-organizing today's event, as well as everyone who has taken the time to join us. So please make the most of today's session. We have an excellent lineup today, and I'm sure you'll come away with many practical insights that will be useful as we explore the vast Indonesian market. So with that, thank you once again for joining us. I wish everybody a fruitful and engaging session. Back over to you, Raj. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Willis, for your wonderful, warm opening remarks. We'll now move into our Indonesia briefing segment. To take us through the first part of today's program and introduce our distinguished speakers from Indonesia, it is my pleasure to hand over my time to Ms. Suin from the ASEAN Innovation Business Platform, AIBP. Suin, over to you.
Thank you, Raj. Good morning, everybody. I think we first want to thank the opportunity for having us to be part of this briefing and also to lead the business mission in the upcoming program. And I think just to set a context, right, my colleague will be sharing the screen. And while we are waiting for the slides to load up, I thought I'll give everyone a quick context about why we're doing this, what we're doing this, and the interest that we see within Southeast Asia. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think just a quick one. This is the agenda that we have from the AIBP portion. We have about like 30 minutes. And before that, I will introduce very quickly about like who AIBP is, what we are doing. And I think in the next slide, you'll see that from an AIBP perspective, we call ourselves a go-to-market consultant, very specifically on Southeast Asia. And what you see is that there are two different components. Typically, when companies come to us, we try to help them in a market development framework, very much focused on the next slide where you see these steps that we go after. Sorry, next slide. Yeah. So when we talk about going into Southeast Asia, especially navigating Indonesia, the culture is a little bit different. For different markets, different industries, different sector, we apply it from account-based perspective and we apply it from a local context perspective. And hence, you see in the previous slide, in the advisory board, we do have a group of like selected advisory board members in the local market who kind of give us a certain perspective. While preparing for this briefing, I think most of us, we have kind of like prepared quite a long different go-to-market strategies and some use cases on how we've seen Singapore companies apply their business frameworks in these new markets. But I thought to help everyone who's, I think some of you, when I saw the list, some of you are very new to the Indonesian market and maybe some of you are taking the first step into the Indonesia side. Hence, we thought that it would be better for us to have our close partners from KOMDIGI and ADIGSI to kind of give everyone a bit of flavor first. And later on, if later anyone has further questions around go-to-market, who are the companies that you're going after from an ICBPP perspective, we'll share that resources to you later on. So I think next up, we will be able to give you a quick flavor on the Indonesia current framework and development from a digital perspective. So if I can welcome like Dr. Edwin to introduce himself very quickly, and then we can go into like his sharing first. Dr. Edwin.
Yes.
Yeah, we will go into your presentation, yeah, Pak.
Okay.
First, maybe I can get you to introduce yourself and yeah, you can go straight into
Okay.
it.
So we start. Can I start now?
Yes, Pak.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to start this a brief presentation about Indonesia. So let me start with slide number 1. So this is actually the slide that I presented a couple last week when we had this event on in Jakarta about digital ecosystem alignment. We are trying to give the sort of like a picture of Indonesia right now. You know, it's actually a boring figures, but everybody knows. But I just want to reiterate the magnitude of Indonesia's like digital economy. So the first one, you know the numbers of population is quite high. It's about 281 million. We are the member of G20 with GDP about 1.4 trillion US dollars. We have about 188 millions of working age in demographic dividend, and we're in the top 10 in global producers of critical minerals. And our digital economy is number 1 in ASEAN. It's about $100 billion right now, and last year's actually. This is going to be like around between 120 to 130 billion US dollars. So we have around, this numbers is quite old, 220 million, but the current numbers around 230 million. But the numbers of mobile subscribers is not 258 right now. It's about 300 million. So actually surpass our populations. So we are the number 1 in South Asia in terms of magnet for AI and data centers investment. Next slide, please. This is about the Indonesia, about the economy. We are now in about $100 billion. It's expecting to be increasing threefold in the next 4 to 5 years. Our ICT sectors is also growing. It's actually faster than the growth of our economy. For the last 10 years, the growth of ICT is about 8.3% in average, compared to our GDP is around 5%. So with the if you look at the context of ASEAN, DEFA, digital economic framework, it's actually if you can multiply Indonesia numbers, then you can multiply the whole 600 million people that lives in the ASEAN territory. So with the with the new implementations of AI, the growth of digital economy is going to be faster than it had been for the last few years. Next. So what are we going to do with this? So first, these are the general principles of digital economy in Indonesia. The first one is the value retention and economic value distributions. So the economic value should be retained within ASEAN countries. It should not go to other places. How we do retain the value of this economy? That's the questions that we need to answer. Number 2, the productivity spillover. We know that the growth of this economy is growing fast, but sometimes the productivity of the people has not been really affected by the digital transformation that is currently taking place. For example, like Indonesia right now, the I-core of Indonesia is around 6.4, and it should be lower if we could have this national transformation into digital. We are expecting to have the icon number as low as 4.2 or 4.3 by 2030 if we could perform the transformations in digitalizations. Next. This is the general strategy. The first one is the understanding. The second one is the general strategy. Now, the digital ecosystem is like a building with 4 layers, 4 floors. In the basement, we call it the physical infrastructures. physical infrastructures, we got the networks, the data centers, fibers, towers, and everything. And then we have on the first floor, or the layer one is virtual infrastructures. There's cloud computing power, software, data run, that's including cybersecurity. It's actually part of the virtual infrastructures. And on the second floor, there's a platform and intermediations. Platform matching of supplies and demand, marketplaces, payments, and etc. and exchange as well. And then on top is the applications, the apps, the app citizen use and e-commerce, fintech, and everything. So these are the layers of, we call it the digital ecosystem in Indonesia. Now, what is our strategy? We actually have a formula of 6 Cs. You mentioned a lot in the seminars or in a workshop about our 6 Cs. The first is connectivity. How can we improve our connectivity? Connectivity, of course, connectivity doesn't mean only like frequency for mobile phone or um, fiber for internet service providers, but connectivity means both physical infrastructures and also the virtual infrastructures. Okay, there's a leakage. Why? Because the bandwidth for connectivity is not solely lies on the fibers or frequency or the towers, but it also lies on the security of the connectivity itself. Because what I've been telling everyone, that bandwidth is actually the no, security is actually the new bandwidth. So if you want to be you want to have an advanced connectivity, you have also to have like a secure network. That means if you have this security, then you have the real bandwidth to expand your data exchange. Then you can grow your digital economy, because everything about digital economy is about that data exchange. If you don't have these things, then you're not going to have a growing digital economy. So there are lots of programs that we are currently uh, doing and also planning to do. That includes the restructuring of the digital connectivity industries, and then putting on some regulations on how to create a more secure connectivity and everything. I don't have much time to explore about all the uh, the uh, the implementations of this, how we are going to improve our connectivity sectors. The second thing is how we can bring capitals. Now, if you don't have a solid foundations, about the connectivity, then it is impossible for us to bring more capital to our digital economy. So that's why we need this capital on the second, after we manage with the connectivity itself. Now, capital can be seen in three folds or three tiers. Number one, after we have this connectivity, we can have capital. We have to bring capital for research and development. That can be done by our government or our sovereign fund. We actually have discussions with Danantara, our sovereign wealth fund. One of the discussions is how to Danantara be involved in the research and the development of digital transformations. The second is the capital for our startups, enterprise. So will involve our sovereign wealth fund and also VCs, private sectors, and everything. Now, we currently develop some initiative to improve to increase the flow of capital, so make Indonesia more viable. For the last couple of years, everybody's saying that there's a tech winters because the number of investment in the amount of investment in startups and tech company are declining. But we have made some initiative to ensure the investment is more secure. One of them is we are going to sort of like having the government involvement and not only incubating and accelerating the startup, but also to sort of like assessing the maturity of the startup, give them indexing so that that will give guidance to investors which startups or tech company that is mature enough to be invested. So sort of like a reference. It's not like a great scoring, but it gives investors assurance that about the conditions of the startups that they are interested in. And also the capital for our MSME is also
Isi, Mam.
very important.
Cak,
So those
kok
are
di
the
bawah
three
nggak
things
bisa
about
Yes,
the about
ini gue
the
udah ini putus kan ini kan. Coba,
about
ini
this.
udah gue centang.
The
Ini
number
nggak bisa,
three
kenapa
is
dah?
there's a leakage.
I think someone is hijacking Dr. Edwin for a while from his team.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, Pak, you can proceed.
Yes, thank you, Bapak. Yeah.
Can I continue?
Yes,
please.
please.
Thank you.
Okay. So about the competency, we are aiming to develop another 9 million tech talents. That's why we develop our Garden Spark in 20 cities in Indonesia and also 500 spokes all around the countries. We are aiming to develop about 9 million digital tech talent until 2030. And and then commerce. Commerce is very important. How do we give incentive to the digital transactions. That's why we are planning also to revise our Government Act number 71. So it will create more conducive environment for the development of our e-commerce. And number 5 is about the compliance. The new approach of the compliance is compliance is not regulations, is not to control, but regulations is to enable the players of the ecosystem to grow. But of course, they have to play within the rules. Um, it's like the World Cup. It's like football. The regulations is to make the game more attractive, without injuring other, or creating harm to other players in the ecosystems. And number 6 is catalysis. Catalysis is how the government can act as the catalyst of the development. For example, like if for the enactment of new regulations, the government should be the catalyst of the adoptions of new technology, including artificial intelligence. So that those are the 6s that I mentioned. And last slide, because the time is up. I'm trying to speed up. This is the risk. These are the risks of the AI implementation, which has been covered. So the number one is about the AI divide, widening the gap between the poor and the rich. AI security data risk is actually the second biggest risk in Indonesia. So if Indonesia is persistent to develop AI to increase the GDP, then cyber security should not be left behind. It should be in front, because the cyber security is the solutions for the number 2 biggest risk in Indonesia of the implementation of the AI. AI-enabled fraud and informations and pollutions, AI data sovereignty and control, cultural and social impact. Those are the 5 biggest risks in Indonesia. So of course, the about the strategy, I'm not going to be more detail on it about how we deal with the energy, chips, infrastructures, models, and applications. But we deal with also with Danantara, our sovereign wealth fund, and collaborate with other players to at least we are not like in the US, who can invest like billions or trillions of dollars on it, but at least we can sort of like it's not really like a full sovereignty, but we are going to be more pragmatic on this, so that we can have like our own AI strategy that covers all these 5 layers of AI, from energy, chips or semiconductor ecosystem, infrastructures, models or LLM, and applications. I think that's it from me, because time is very limited.
No
I
worries,
think I
but
have
I
taken
think
to.
we will have more questions for you later.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so I think for the participants, right, if you have some questions, you're welcome to like either raise your hand
All right.
or type it in the chat.
Emang 15 menit.
Okay. So I'll just wait for the question, right? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll go through this first. Yeah, thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Pak.
Yeah, I like what Pak mentioned, right? Because I think he talked about like ASEAN as a whole, and it's a shared responsibility if you like look at the next slide. And I think it echo back to what Willie mentioned on as well earlier on with regards to how Indonesia and Singapore we have like a deep collaboration, and it's something that we want to work together to drive a message of shared responsibility for the region. In the beginning of my presentation, just now I couldn't see my slides, and you saw me frozen for a while. But I think the main thing is we really want to understand a bit more about like what the enterprises are interested in and what are the problems that they're trying to solve within their current organization, within their current stage. Hence, from AIBP perspective, we also ran a survey across Southeast Asia about I think 300 Indonesian respondents from both the IT leaders and also the business leaders about their current challenges coming in from a technology perspective. You can see both ASEAN and Indonesia, everyone's looking at AI, everyone talk about like legacy IT infrastructure and systems and cybersecurity as key challenges that they're looking at. And if you go to the next slide, right, I think that's the area that when we deep dive into cybersecurity, these are some of the key segments that people look at. But this, I can be very honest with you, this is a survey that's done last year. And this year, just like what Dr. Edwin had shared earlier on, right, with the new developments of AI around agentic, I think a lot of companies are trying to set up team members to look into AI governance. And I think that is still a discussion or debate within organizations, whether it's going to be a business-led initiative, or is it going to be an IT-led initiative? Is it going to be a cybersecurity-led initiative? That's something that we are going to try to incorporate. And from a member's perspective or cybersecurity company's perspective, when you're coming into Indonesia, I think these are things that we need to figure out as well. Who are you speaking with? Who are you targeting with? And that conversations need to be tweaked accordingly. I think in the next segment of the presentation, before we go through some of the Q&A, Edwin, I think we do have, for example, we do have Pak Firlie, who's also a very good friend of AIBP, who will walk us through a little bit more about like the local ecosystem itself. I think some of the participants here, right, when they join, Vanessa, you can go to the next slide. Some of the participants, when you join, I think I saw some familiar names because a couple of you would have joined us in the cybersecurity mission back in 2023 in Jakarta as well. And Pak Firlie back then had kindly also hosted us on behalf of Kadin, cybersecurity and digital chapter. And now Pak Firlie, in his new role as the chairman of ADIGSI, I think he has more perspective from both the private and public sector that he can share with us. So Pak Firlie, can I invite you to walk us through what you're looking to share today?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sue. Good to meet you all again. Mr. Lim, nice to meet you. Dr. Edwin, Pak Edwin, good to see you again, Pak.
Ya, really ketemu
Yes.
lagi di London.
Yeah, Pak. Yeah, we met last time in London for the same things. But anyway, so a very good morning to everybody. It's a pleasure to join this briefing with CSA Singapore, SGTech, AIBP, and the cybersecurity technology providers who participating today. So as Sue mentioned, that I will share some practical views on the of Indonesia's cybersecurity landscape. the demand signals that we are seeing, where spending priorities are growing, and how international providers can work effectively with local partners. And my key message is very simple. Indonesia is moving from buying cybersecurity tools towards building cyber resilience outcomes. Before going to the market briefing, I think I want to introduce briefly what ADIGSI is. We are the Indonesian Digitalization and Cybersecurity Association, which is a national association established to support the strengthening of Indonesia's digital cybersecurity ecosystem. Our role is to bring together the business players, digital ecosystem stakeholders, regulators, academia, and international partners to strengthen cyber resilience. We see the cybersecurity not only a technical domain, but as a foundation for digital trust, national digital sovereignty, and sustainable economic growth. Some of the ADIGSI's strategic pillars. We work our work is guided by six strategic pillars. The first is critical infrastructure, cyber resilience. The second is public-private partnership, because cyber resilience cannot achieve by government or industry alone. The third one is cybersecurity governance and regulations, where we support alignment between national priorities and global standards. And the fourth one is talent development and awareness, which remains one of the Indonesia's most important challenges at the moment. The fifth one is actually to strengthening the local cybersecurity industry, and the sixth is methodologies and standardization, including risk management, assessment, audits, and practical frameworks that can be adopted across sectors. I think these pillars shape how ADIGSI contributes to Indonesia's cyber resilience agenda. In practice, ADIGSI works with a broad range of stakeholders, government institutions, international organizations, associations, universities, companies, and research institutions. Our members also represent both cybersecurity providers and the broader digital ecosystem across Indonesia. And this is very important because cybersecurity demand in Indonesia is not limited to one sector, and it cuts across finance, healthcare, retail, energy, cloud, telecommunications, anything you name it. Briefly on the organization structure, ADIGSI is supported by executive board and supervisory board consisting of leaders in the background of the technology, cybersecurity, digital economy, policy, and industry development. This allows us to position ADIGSI as the bridge between the policy, the industry, and the practical implementation. Throughout 2026, ADIGSI has continued to activate different forums, collaborations, including sectoral cyber discussions. We had public-private dialogues, media briefings, and international collaborations initiatives. The objective is not only to discuss cybersecurity, but also to create a follow-up opportunities for the capability building and ecosystem development. We have two main memberships categories. First one is the cybersecurity industry members. I think those companies and/or any institutions that provide cybersecurity solutions, services, technologies, and expertise. I think I also must Girindro in this forum as well, and he is one of our supporters. And the second type of membership is digital ecosystem members, which is organizations from sectors such as ICT, fintech, e-commerce, healthcare, energy, cloud services, smart cities, and other digital sectors. This structure reflects our view that resilience requires both supply side and the demand side to work together. We also welcome for participants who would like to learn about ADIGSI, can explore our collaboration opportunities. You may visit our website, adigsi.id, and our membership is open to international companies as well interested in engaging with Indonesia cybersecurity and digital ecosystem. You may access the registration link shown in the slide or visit our website for more information. I think I'm going to, after introducing ADIGSI, let me move to the main part of the briefing, which is strengthening cyber resilience in Indonesia's digital era. The executive message that I would like to highlight in this is that Indonesia is moving from security tools to resilience outcomes. So there are three reasons behind this shift. I think the first one is digital scale is expanding. Edwin already mentioned that how big the market is in Indonesia, and Indonesia has more transactions, more data, more connected infrastructure. The second is regulatory expectations are rising. Personal data protection, cybersecurity bill, which is in discussion at the moment, financial sector, cyber rules, and critical infrastructure expectations are changing buyer behavior. The third one is resilience is now a business issue. So boards and CXOs are asking practical questions. Can we continue operations during the incident? Reduce fraud, prepare for a breach, and manage the party risk. For foreign providers, winning in Indonesia requires more than a strong technology. It requires local credibility, partner-led delivery, and of course, sector-specific use case. Indonesia's cyber threat environment is becoming more intense. National traffic anomaly monitoring shows very large volumes of traffic anomalies over the past several years. In 2025 alone, the number reached almost 5 billion anomalies, equivalent to nearly 184 attempted attacks per second. A traffic anomaly is not the same as the confirmed breach, but it is also a strong signal of the scale of exposure faced by Indonesia's digital environment. Cyber risk is no longer abstract. It's constant, high volume, and increasingly operational. At the same time, Indonesia has more than 220 million internet users and rapidly growing digital economy. The cybersecurity market is also expected to grow significantly, reflecting the increasing investment from enterprises and public sector institutions. The lesson is clear. Cybersecurity is now a direct connected to digital trust. As Indonesia's digital economy grows, the need to safeguard transactions, data, infrastructure, public services will continue to increase. Let me start with financial services. This one is one of the clearest sectors for cybersecurity demand in Indonesia. Digital banking, payments, fintech platforms, open APIs, cloud adoption, and real-time transactions are expanding the attack surface. At the same time, regulators are strengthening expectations around governance, risk management, operational resilience, and cyber readiness. For financial sector buyers, the priorities are practical: SOC, MDR, XDR capabilities, identity and privilege access management, API and cloud security, fraud and anomaly detection, data loss prevention, data governance, and third-party assurance. The buying logic is not simple. Give us the most advanced tool. It is more like help us to prove resilience reduce fraud exposure, and show governance maturity while allowing digital growth to continue. This is where strong technology must be combined with implementation capability and sector understanding. The second sector is healthcare. Healthcare in Indonesia is moving toward more integrated digital systems, including electronic medical records, hospital information systems, telemedicine, and connected vendor systems. This creates major benefits for service delivery, but also raise the cyber resilience bar. The demand triggers included sensitive personal health data, hospital operations uptime, vendor connected systems, and increasingly integrated data flows. The key risks are data leakage, privacy breach, ransomware-driven outage, weak endpoint controls, and identity misuse. For many hospitals, the challenge is not only buying technology, the challenge is operating it consistently with limited IT and cybersecurity resources. Therefore, the best fit providers are those that can offer solution implementation, managed operation, and training. In healthcare, cyber resilience must be practical, affordable, and operational sustained. The third, I think I'm going to skip the next sectors, but across this sector, slide 17, please. The cross sectors, we see several common buyers priorities in Indonesia. First, business continuity, recovery time objectives, recovery point objectives, backup, disaster recovery, and crisis simulation. The second is regulatory confidence, alignment with personal data protection, financial sector requirements, audit expectation, and sectoral rules. The third one, integrated delivery, solution must work with existing system integrators, cloud environments, network infrastructure, and managed services stacks. The fourth, local support, Indonesian language enablement. I think it's very important, local service level agreement, and clear escalation path of the matter. The fifth is outcome-based packaging. Buyers need to clear use case, deployment timelines, and value metrics. And the sixth is capability transfer, training, runbooks, SOC playbooks, and joint operation models. The conclusion is this: Indonesian buyers do not need only to buy the best technology, but they buy confidence that implementation will work locally. Now let me turn into the go-to-market. For Singapore based or international providers entering Indonesia, working with local partners is very important. There are three partner types to consider. The first one is straightforward, which is system integrators. SIs are important because they are understand the enterprise environments, existing accounts, procurement processes, and integration requirements. The best motion is to co-sell into regulated sectors and embed the solution into a larger transformation programs. But providers should also be careful not to bypass the account ownership because trust and relationship management are very important in Indonesia market. The second is MSSPs. MSSPs are valuable when the solution needs continuous operation, monitoring, detection, incident response, or managed control. This is especially relevant where internal cyber talent is limited, but providers must clarify runbooks, service level agreements, escalation paths, and data residency expectations. The third relationship is distributors. Distributors can help scale coverage, manage resellers, and support procurement. However, distributors are most effective after the provider has found product market fit and has a repeatable use case. The channel principle is very simple. Build one credible sector, use cash first, and then scale through local partners. how can we help? So this is where ADIGSI can play a constructive role. We can support ecosystem activations in 4 ways. First, convening. ADIGSI can bring together the industry associations, regulators, and solution providers into a structured dialogue. Second, market translation. We can help translate global capabilities into Indonesia's relevant sector use cases, because each sector has different readiness levels, procurement logic, and risk priorities. The third one is capacity building. This can include webinars, executive briefings, tabletop exercises, and practitioner sessions. The fourth one is assessment pathways. ADIGSI can work with partners to support readiness assessment and improvement roadmaps. Our collaboration goal is to accelerate cyber resilience maturity in Indonesia while expanding trusted Indonesia-Singapore cybersecurity cooperation.
Thank you, Pak Firlie. I think there are a couple of questions from the team here, but I know that we don't really have much time left for this portion itself. But I believe that for everyone, I think just a quick context, right? Today we have KOMDIGI, we have ADIGSI, we also are working with BSSN for a couple of different programs in the upcoming mission. So I think later on, if everyone, we will have a homework for everyone who's joining the mission in the upcoming month. And if let's say you have more questions, more interest in certain segment, we'll go through it in some of our one-on-one mentoring sessions as well. So this, I'll just leave it as such. I would like to thank Pak Firlie and Dr. Edwin for lending us their time and giving us the opportunity to learn a bit more from the Indonesian lens. And I think, thank you so much. I'll pass it back to Raj for the CMB portion. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Suin, and thank you again to Dr. Edwin, Hidayat, and Mr. Firlie Ganinduto for sharing your valuable insights into Indonesia's digital ecosystem and cybersecurity landscape. Our next speaker will actually share practical on-the-ground advice for companies looking to enter and grow in Indonesia. And it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Girindro Pringgo Digdo, founder and CEO of CyberArmyID. With over 15 years of cybersecurity experience, Pringgo leads one of Indonesia's leading cybersecurity firms specializing in offensive security and cyber intelligence. He has worked extensively with both government agencies and private organizations to strengthen cybersecurity capabilities, and is also a recognized trainer, author, and speaker within the cybersecurity community. Today, he's sharing practical lessons on succeeding in Indonesia's cybersecurity market. Pringgo, over to you.
Thank you, Raj. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you, CyberSG, for inviting me today. My name is Girindro Pringgo Digdo. I'm a founder and CEO of CyberArmyID. So this is Indonesian cybersecurity company established in 2018. And this session, I would like to share some practical observation from our experience building the cybersecurity business in Indonesia, working with government agencies and enterprises. So hopefully this insight can help the companies that are considering expanding here to Indonesia. Just a little bit background about the Cyber Army. We built organically since 2018 without external investors. I actually came from the cybersecurity communities. So in early days, I see we need the platform that connect organization and security research. So we start building the Cyber Army, the bug bounty platform, the vulnerability disclosure program to connect between security researchers, also organizations. Right? And as we work with the organization, we know they need more solutions. So we built Helium vulnerability intelligence platform. We built cyber intelligence platform and cyber academy to strengthen people, to educate the people. Right now we have more than, I think, 20,000 members. And CyberArmy already comply with ISO 27001, and our computer security incident response team recognized by National Cyber and Crypto Agency. And this is interesting. We have presidential degree that say the product must minimum must be have 40% for local content requirement, and we in Cyber Army we beyond on that we have more than 80% for local content requirement. Currently, we have diverse customer, including the government agencies, financial institutions, state-owned enterprises, and private sector organizations. All right. So before entering the Indonesian market, it's important to understanding procurement dynamics. We divide into two categories: the public sector and private sector. Right. The public sector, specifically in government, they have actually they have a budget a year earlier, so they will divine the budget a year earlier before they use it. They already have the budget for cybersecurity, for IT department, for operation a year earlier. And the compliance requirement also prefer the local presence and also the certification local requirement, right? But if we see the private sector, this is a private sector, is faster than government. So, however, the decision is still made by several teams, but it's faster than government because it's private, right? Um, when they see the technology is they want to use this technology, the security team will evaluate this product. At the same time, the procurement will review the the commercial terms, the pricing model, the term and conditions, and give to the managements and management approve. Yeah, so it's faster than public sector. So don't expect a decision after just one meeting in Indonesia. We have several meetings. We have coffee meetings, lunch meeting. So you don't expect just one meeting you get a deal. No, it's not work like that. Several meetings is part of cycling in sales. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see in Indonesia market. So Indonesia is one largest market in Southeast Asia with more than 280 million populations. This is emerging market, and now our government support to be a digital transformation. So not only in the center of Indonesia, like a big city like Jakarta, Bandung, and other else, at the countryside, in the rural area, the government also make the bunch of applications. Yeah, in terms of digital transformations, they make bunch of applications. At the moment, I asked them just one organization or one organization. How many do you have the application in your organization? And they said we have more than 100 applications. You can imagine it, just for one organizations. So you can imagine it. So we have a lot of applications in Indonesia. It's for the cybersecurity. It will be grow. It will be used. The other solution, whether it is security assessment, consulting, SOC, and other else, because we have more application, we have a lot of people here, and surely we have a data. Yeah. So the cybersecurity spending will be part of it. And our main buyers or main customers, we have government agencies, state-owned enterprises, banking, telecommunication, energy, and large enterprises. These main customers already have budgets about the cybersecurity, but you have to uh, be patient, right? Following the procurement dynamics in Indonesia. Okay. Now, let's look about Indonesian buyers when evaluating a cybersecurity solution. Of course, the technology is important, but our experience in CyberArmy, customer also ask other questions like, can we trust this company? When we use this technology and raise the issue, we have the issue, we face the issue. Can we have a quick response? Can we have a quick answer from the principal or partner? Indonesians usually use a WhatsApp group or Telegram group. They also use email, but the email just regularly for like invoicing, like formal invitation. But for issue, they have an issue, they want to get quickly response. So we usually create a group and yeah, raise a issue there. Also, they will ask who else already use this product, because they want to see the traction of your products, the traction of the technology. They want to compare that the product has been already they use, it fit or not. And yeah, for the compliance, yeah, they also consider about the uh, compliance regulatory in Indonesia, including the ISO, the local requirement, the presidential degree, and other else. And the last for the pricing, so is that uh, sustainable or competitive pricing, because so many technology will come to Indonesia. They will compare with the price, the support, and the bahasa. So that's why the building the trust and credibility is just as important than as building the good product. So how to build trust in Indonesia? We have four here. I write four components. The first one is certification, right? You have to have the certain certification like cybersecurity. You have to have ISO 27001, local registrations. I think KOMDIGI, yeah, you have to register to the KOMDIGI for providing the electronic services. And join the industry membership, join the industry associations. In Indonesia, we have the cybersecurity associations. Previously, Pak Firlie, ADIGSI is cybersecurity associations. And like the fintech, we also have the association, so you can join them and see what kind of thing we can help on these associations. They will refer to you one day, maybe when they uh, need help or need solution. They will remember you. You join the association. You uh, have solved the problems of their associations. The second is demonstrations. You have to provide the account, the POC account, so the customer will experience your technology. The customer will experience your product and comparing with their product already. So the customer will look for this is fit or not for this product. and our issue or our problems. Set up the pilot projects and conduct the hands-on workshop about the product. The third, sharing your knowledge. So speak at the conference, making the threat reports, or conduct the training sessions, because we not only see the company itself, but also we see the person behind it. Is that person expert enough or truly expert about the technology? Is that understand about the technology? So show up, speak at the conference, make the threat reports like cyber intelligence, like trend cybersecurity in 2026, 2027, and conduct the training session. Finally, you have to engage with the communities, like universities. Maybe you have the cyber academy, you have the syllabus, and try to connect with the communities. And maybe maybe universities can adapt your syllabus, adapt your tools in learning sections, and join the cybersecurity communities, because these communities is a grassroots, so they know the issue in reality. So you at the same time you can fix or you can revise your product, looking for the cybersecurity communities issue. Yeah. Yeah, these are some examples. Our activity, we conduct the conference in National Cybersecurity Connect. We conduct this cybersecurity awareness. We conduct the hands-on workshop, and also we doing the publications. So we try to engage people. The people will remember us. Okay. So this is some common mistakes that we have seen. First, don't assume that works in other market will works also in Indonesia. It's different, because every market has its own culture and buying process. Next, we don't focus only the products instead of solving the business problems, because Indonesians, when we do demonstrations, they also ask a lot of questions beyond the questions. So not only selling the future, they want to make sure our problem is truly fit with this technology, right? And the third is make sure the customer have a local support, either from your team or from your local partner, and be patient. Yeah, because we have the procurement process. It takes time, months, maybe a year. So it's yeah, be patient. And finally, don't compete on the pricing, and don't underestimate relationship building. So we have to make trust and credibility first. You make the relationship first. So this is local presence matters for Indonesians, because we speak Indonesian. Because we speak Indonesia, we can tell more about our issue, about our potential issue, to make this technology fit in our issue. So we talk more in bahasa in Indonesia. So it's matter for local presence. Yeah. Yeah. My recommendation to win your first customer, don't chase large deal immediately. Just start small, doing a POC, doing a pilot deployment, make the limited subscriptions, and revise the product, revise the features. Um, um, And the second one is leverage existing network. So join the industry event, join the associations, join the industry membership, and also governance events, right? University and communities, and speak at the conference. Invest in visibility, so the people know who you are, and now you are truly expert on this. So you speak at the conference, you publish the trades reports, and you host workshop or you teach the training. I think it's better, yeah, than just present the sales pitch deck. And yeah, be patient because relationship often convert into opportunities months later or years later. Okay, finally, message from me: technology is important, but customer don't only buy technology; they also buy confidence and trust. So that's all from me. If you have any questions or would like to discuss anything further, yeah, just feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pringgo, for your wonderful practical insights and lessons from the ground. And I especially love your last point as well about being visible, especially through engaging in conferences, speaking at opportunities, and really going out there. So thank you for that. Our final speaker today is Mr. Endit Intasworo, Program Manager at Block 71 Indonesia. He supports startups through incubation, acceleration, strategic partnerships, and investment related initiatives. Prior to Block 71, Endit actually built his career across venture capital, technology, and entrepreneurship, including founding his own consumer products company. Today, he works closely with founders, investors, corporates, universities, and government agencies to strengthen Indonesia's startup ecosystem and help startups scale. And Block 71 itself has also played an important role in connecting startups, investors, and innovation partners across Southeast Asia. And today, Endit will share how Singapore companies can leverage Indonesia's innovation ecosystem to build partnerships and accelerate market entry. Endit, over to you.
Thank you so much, Raj. Hi, everyone. My name is Andit. So I'll be sharing my screen now.
Okay.
Sorry, can you guys see my screen right now?
Okay, we can see it now.
Yep. Okay, so thanks, everyone. So first of all, I think I would like to explain a bit or briefly introduce to you about what Block 71 Indonesia, right? So Block 71 is part of Block 71 Global. So Block 71 itself is an ecosystem builder backed by NUS Enterprise. And we have centers in 6 different countries from Singapore to Indonesia, Vietnam, Japan, China, and Silicon Valley. So we're a global connector, we're a global ecosystem builder. As for the Block 71 Indonesia, we are partnering with Salim Group, one of the largest conglomerates in Indonesia, in Southeast Asia, in fact, through their Innovation Factory entity, which is the innovation arm of the Salim Group holding. And the objective of this is to, strengthen cross-border initiatives between any of the countries where Block 71 exists, especially Singapore and Indonesia. And in terms of what we have done in the past few years, right, of operations, so I think this is our 9th years of operations, and we're going to, arrive at our 10 years of partnership in Indonesia between NUS Enterprise and Salim Group. So I think we have been incubating for more than 300 plus startups locally and from foreign countries as well. And we have 3 centers in Jakarta, in Bandung, and Yogyakarta. And as of today's context, we have been supporting startups from across the globe to enter Indonesia as well. Sorry for my sound. So what we've been supporting, right? We've been receiving a lot of requests from any of the Block 71 centers outside of Indonesia, and they've been wanting to enter Indonesia or explore Indonesia as a potential expansion market. And these are the four things that we have been doing to help them and to support them to go to Indonesia. The first one is, we provide warm introductions, of course, because we are here, we are the locals, we know most of the ecosystem players, we know the stakeholders, the everyone lah. So we always provide warm introductions to corporate decision makers, government stakeholders, and qualified startup partners. And then the second one is we can sort of become like a soft landing infrastructure for the startups. And of course, we will support them to establish their company here. So because we have offices in 3 different cities, Jakarta, Bandung, and Yogyakarta, as already mentioned, startups can actually use our space, which is quite cheap, because it's meant for a startup to set up their office here, to hire local talents and put them in one roof, right? And then while establishing the company in Indonesia. So we've been helping startups with that as well. And then market intelligence, because most of the startups, they wanted to go to Indonesia, but they don't have really a good understanding about Indonesia as a market, and then about how to operate in Indonesia, the behaviors, the cultures, and everything. So we provide that as well to the startups. And of course, last but not least, is program participation, because we run a lot of programs. We are an ecosystem builder, right? We essentially do a lot of things, initiative activities that drive innovation and entrepreneurship, and therefore startups who we have been helping with, they are allowed to join our programs as well and activities in Indonesia. So these are the things that we have done. So based on these activities over the past few years, what we have learned, right? If the question from this session is, what will be the right go-to-market strategy? Again, I would echo the previous speakers, Firlie, Mas, from the Cyber Army, mentioned as well that relationship really matters. I would like to emphasize the importance of relationship, because Indonesia is I think I would say it's a relationship-based country where everyone hangs out on a daily basis. Most of the deals happen out of referrals. This happen not only in deals like buying and selling activities, but also in investing. So I've been seeing that liking, disliking plays an important role in how you get investment from a venture capital, right? You may have a good product, you may have a good idea, brilliant idea, but if the investors don't like you and you don't have a good relationship with them, then you're screwed. So I would like to stress the importance of having a good relationship here. And I believe everyone here, you already have a strong technology that you can bring and support Indonesian companies with. And then you already have the market knowledge given by the previous speakers, from the macro perspective, and then how to secure a partnership. But the missing piece is local credibility, right? So, relationship is important, but having a local credible person that can be your messenger, be it like an in-house employee of yours, like a salesperson or lobbyist or whatever it is, or simply just a referrals, right? It's very crucial. So today, I think I'm gonna focus on this topic. So if you start thinking, okay, relationship is important, and who to reach, right? So basically, we have created this who's who and what's maturing map. So of course, the list is not super exhaustive, but at least this is good enough for you to go to Indonesia, right? The first one is always about startup hubs, incubators, associations. It's like Block 71 and likes. You have Plug and Play, you have Kumpul, you have associations like ADIGSI. And then you have the corporate innovation arms. So usually big corporations or conglomerates in Indonesia, they have their own innovation arms. So for example, Salim Group, they have the innovation arm called Innovation Factory. And several other conglomerates also have this one. And they are usually actively looking for innovations that can solve their internal problems within the group. So this is the second go-to partners that you can really start building relationship with. And then the third one is, of course, government and regulatory bodies. KOMDIGI is a good place for you, as mentioned by other speakers as well. You can go to them because they can refer you to somebody else out there who may be in need of what you offer. And then venture capital, it's weird, yeah, but venture capital, they have their own portfolios, right? So security is a rising topic right now in Indonesia, and therefore we believe that they also wanted to make their portfolio company secure and safe, and therefore it is worthwhile to talk to venture capital firms as well in Indonesia if you have the connections. And then universities and R&D bodies, agencies, this already covered previously. But the most prominent one will be UI, University of Indonesia, and then IPB, UGM, IPS, because they are one of the most prominent university in Indonesia. And then, of course, where cybersecurity sits, this has been covered as well. So basically what I'm trying to say here is everything that you have heard from the previous speakers, right, is getting validated by the repetition coming from the next speakers, right? So fintech, health tech, logistics, energy is one of the go-to places for B2B security companies. And then that's it about the mapping. The next one will be the partnership archetypes that we have seen working by far. So number one is to have a strategic local champion. So think of it like your own employee in Indonesia. So it has to be a well-connected Indonesian coming from corporate or conglomeration. And then the other thing that I would like to suggest is also to hire someone that is coming from a lobbying background, like public affairs or government relations. They usually have a lot of connections on top of the typical business development or salespeople. And the benefit of hiring public affairs or government relation people is one, they usually tend to be smarter compared to the regular business development type of person. Second one is they already have an established connection within the government. So there are two additional benefits from hiring this type of people. The second one is ecosystem embed, right? So this is what I'm trying to say, that maybe you can also go to ecosystem builders like Block 71, like Endeavor, like Kumpul. They can usually help you to connect with their portfolio companies, their strategic partners, etc., etc. And then the third one is distributorship. This already mentioned as well by the previous speakers. Distributorship is one of the recommended pathway for you to go to Indonesia. Why having a distributor instead of setting up your company here? Because I think before everyone jumps into the water, they need to be sure first whether the water is cold or not, right? Meaning that is it safe for me to dive into the water right away? So instead of establishing your company and then set up your operations here and then spending your cash and cash flow on things that may not earn you something, it's better to first test through distributorship first. This is very recommended because it will save you a lot of time, effort, and cash. So the objective of having a distributorship is not to just solely increasing your sales, but also to validate whether the market is there for you or not before you actually invest in the market. And then those are the three archetypes that we've more. And then this is about what foreign companies get wrong in Indonesia. The first one is treating partnerships as transactional. Again, guys, I would like to emphasize the of having a very good relationship. So Indonesians, we are very relationship basis, transaction second. So investing a lot in relationship building. So before you are doing sales pitch, it's better for you to have at least one or two coffee chats before anything. So rushing into contract before trust actually kills deal. Yeah, sadly this is the fact. And then the second one is assuming Singapore is a proxy for Indonesia. Yes, we are neighbor. We are actually quite a close neighbor of geography, but in terms of behavior, we're so different. So I think the best way to right, Singaporean tends to be like American, it's a culture, and don't think Singapore is a proxy for because we are opening and running. And then the third one is expecting that the government or any procurement process to be fast. This has been covered as well, right? So if you are going to secure B2B deals through procurements and stuff, you have to be patient. I would like to echo the key message that has mentioned by the previous speakers. And then number four, going it alone without local validation. This is very important because number one, I think the statistics says that only 10% of Indonesian do speak English, right? And like less than 5% speaks English very well. So you need. So what I'm trying to say is there's a language barrier, right, for you to capture that market, and therefore you have to someone to be your referrers, to be your salesperson, and whatever. Stress the importance of having a local partners that can support you to tap into Indonesia, or at least to validate whether the market is there or not. So those are the four things that foreign companies we saw. And then the next thing for you is, sorry, it's actually one thing, not three things. One thing that you can do in the next 30 days. So please do one thing before you arrive. The first one is, sorry, it's one sentence, right? But it's actually comprised of 3 to 4 things. Number one is you have to identify your Indonesian anchor story, meaning that you have to kind of match between the problem in Indonesia with your solutions. You got to find that problem solution fit, so that your narrative, your sales message will be aligned with the actual problems that your potential buyers are having right now. And then the second one is to leverage the right referrers, and then tell the language, tell in the language of Indonesian buyers, be it like through bahasa or through their adages or through their local problems. And then number four, last but not least, is to start cultivating that relationship. As mentioned, please be patient when building a relationship. You have to be sincere in developing the relationship. Don't talk about business in the first or 2 meetings. Just hang out. Talk about family stuff. How are we doing? The weather is good and whatnot. So build and cultivate that relationship first before you talk about business and transactions. So I think that's all from my end. Thank you so much, and I'm sorry for repeating the same message, but there's a good thing in there, right? Meaning that that everyone is saying the same, so it's a lot of large number. That means it's closer to reality. So yeah, thank you everyone. Back to you, Raj.
Thank you so much, Endit, for your wonderful sharing. I mean, even though it sounds like repeated, but actually what you are helping to do, all of our speakers are here to do, is to touch on various facets and nuances of the market itself. It's really complex, but we are glad that our speakers like you are here to help us understand the market a lot more easily. So with that, what we will actually do is just quickly touch on this before we get into our Q&A session. I thought it's important for us to know that, I mean, as much as we are learning about the marketing workshop and understanding the Indonesian ecosystem, where is an upcoming opportunity for us to be able to better engage and grow within the ecosystem alongside the assistance of our partners within the space. So, for those of you who may have missed this out earlier, just a quick recap. We have an upcoming cybersecurity business mission happening 26 to 28 August 2026. This comes along with the opportunity to engage directly with enterprise technology and cybersecurity leaders. You'll also be able to get qualified business leads matching to your organization should you be part of us. And more importantly, we also have our AIBP conference and exhibition happening from 26 to 27 August in this period, where your organization will get the opportunity to exhibit and also meet other companies. So this is just a quick recap for some of us who may have missed this out earlier. And meanwhile, we'll actually begin our Q&A session quickly for about 5 minutes. Do we have some of the questions coming in? Okay. Just check. Okay. So I see the chat itself has so for those of us who are unable to also scan the QR code, with my colleague Jezri has also embedded the registration link in the chat group itself. So please do click on it, register your interest, and we look forward to having you join us in our business mission.
I think for the question by Abhijit, right? I think it's not so straightforward because it really depends on what you're selling and what stage you're at. So to get whether you have already a customer or not, because there are many different ways for you to get into the market. You can actually go direct to customer, have a JV, or have a local partner first before officially registering. But I think in terms of like what segment, if you're officially looking to register within the KOMDIGI site, right, then I probably have to look into what your products are first before advising.
Okay. We also have a question from Saiful Najaib. Saiful asks whether their colleague or partner who's already in Indonesia, can they participate in this business mission? So thank you for your question, Saiful. We are actually getting the registration from the Singapore entity, meaning to say only Singapore registered business entities with a UEN are going to be participating in this business mission. Yeah. And yes, I mean, just to clarify, it's not a study mission per se, not really educational. We are actually going there to exhibit in the conference and exhibition, as well as to connect with key partners. Okay, so I see you are Singapore registered. Yeah, wonderful. Then in that case, your Singapore entity will be the one who's submitting the interest and then subsequently participating should you be shortlisted.
So we have Abhijit with a question.
Yes.
I think, is it based on your regulations? And yeah, please, Abhijit.
Yeah, hey, thanks. No, I'm just referring to my second question, which is also on the chat. I think I heard that if a Singaporean company in cybersecurity wants to enter the market, they need to register with KOMDIGI. I just wanted to reconfirm, is that indeed a requirement? Do we need to register with KOMDIGI?
I addressed it a little bit earlier, so it depends on whether this is a product or services. And there are many different market entry options. So it could be, for example, you have a local partner, you have a local JV to kind of help you with like the transaction in your first customer. And then you can decide later on if you really want the local entity. But no issue if, let's say, you're exploring the market first, you're selling in first, and then you get a local partner to support you with the transaction part of it.
All right. So
depending on your product, I'm not too sure. There are many different segments under KOMDIGI that you might want to, that needs to be registered. So I need to get back to you based on what you are selling. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Surin.
Okay, with that, yes, with that, I don't see any other questions coming in. Can I second that? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me or my colleague, and we are more than happy to connect you with our speakers as well, should you require any other follow-ups. But meanwhile, do check out the business mission, and we look forward to having you join us. Once again, thank you very much for having joined our Indonesia GTM workshop, and we look forward to having you with us in many more events like this and growing together as a community. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Raj. Thank you, everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.